Conan fans. Wow, I gotta turn my volume down. I can barely hear. Alright, so this is different. Yes, that's not the character I usually play. No, this is the my alternate playthrough. This is on the beta that I've downloaded. This is the game that I was playing up till when I started playing the new one, the one that has the base in the middle of the mountains. Um, I mentioned where this base was, where the base that I built in this game was in a previous playthrough, and I wanted to kind of show it off. Our new base has advanced well beyond where this one is, but I have put a lot of time and energy into this one, so I wanted to show it off. First off, I wanted to show kind of where our location is. This is where I'm at. The base is behind me, but this is just the aqueduct that runs across the beginner's river. This is the site where this, the two ghost dudes come down and have their little campsite there. So I just wanted to, this is the kind of like my landmark for this location. So went up the road here. Oh, this isn't where I want to be. Down here is the little stream that loops around with the alligators and the little camp at the end of it that gets killed, and out there is where I have my fish farm, because that's where the deep water is. And there's a little trail that kind of just goes along this hillside here. Whoops, not this side. Over here, you can see where the difference between the kind of the flat sand and where like the road path is. And so that's where I built my gate. This is my gate 2.0 because my original gate couldn't be. Once I built it, it was built in one way, but then when I realized I needed to place one of these gate houses in it, the gate didn't fit the old frame that I had built, so I had to rebuild it and reincorporate it into my home base. But this is the home base that I built. There's this one big rock here, where I built my home, the home castle, if you will, the keep. That was all it started. I knew that I was gonna create a wall or a gate between the rock that's there and the rock that's here, and then I also built a wall from the big rock that's there and the big rock that's over there. Now, this base has been, I've woefully neglected it. Since I've been playing the other game, I haven't played this thing in weeks. I got on here earlier tonight, played for a couple of hours, and did a little bit of building in one section. Basically, all the stuff that's up there I built, but everything else, and I've just been kind of tinkering with this wall over here. But outside of that, everything else is stuff that I did prior to my construction of the new base. I'm going to go in here. If I'm going to go to the outside of this, I don't want to be attacked by everything. So I have a wall between the big rock here and the smaller rock over there, and I have a gatehouse that comes kind of between the two of those. And on the other side of this thing is this ridge, and there's some animals up above, and then down here, I envisioned some kind of a wall with a gate, which I still need to build. But out here are a bunch of hyenas, so I needed some kind of a protective measure from wandering in and out. So I haven't done a lot with this side of it yet. It's just kind of, I created the foundations as kind of a rough drawing of what I was going to do. There were a bunch of rocks down here, but they never respawned. I think it's because I built near them. When you build structures, it kind of prevents the stuff from filling back in. So this is still pretty simple. I haven't really built a whole lot into it. I kind of had an idea of what I wanted. How much of it's going to be a foundation and, big, thick, and solid, and then how much of it's going to be wall material, which is thinner. So I don't even have the towers built here, but this is kind of the gate to this direction. And again, because I had these animals and stuff up here, I needed to find a way to block this area off, so I just built this big, basically like a giant retaining wall. Because out here, see, it's rocks, bushes, and there's animals that come up here and graze and stuff, so I just needed basically a door, so that's what I did. So I learned pretty much what I knew going into the game about getting animals and so forth, as well as thralls from this game. And I just recently realized that I don't need to have all them. They don't need food anymore. So I did, yeah. So I got a hyena over here. These guys should have food. I emptied it earlier. I guess I didn't empty the hyena. I got a boar. I got a rhino. I got an elephant. I got a shaleback, and I got a gazelle. I just put them over here because there's bushes and stuff like that. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. And then here's, of course, the what do they call this? The animal pen. Next to that, I got this is the small animal pen. I didn't build one of these in the other game, but this is what the single animal pen looks like versus the one that can hold 5. I'm going to show what's behind these. I created little foundations and fence work and little dump areas. This is kind of like where people could throw their trash. But anyway, right along the river is this big cliffside. And I thought, oh, this is pretty defensible. So that's why I built this the way I built it. I created the fence to kind of give me an idea of what the farthest back I can build, and I put some foundations down in case I wanted to keep things all lined up and straight. But basically, the inside of it, you come in from the gate from one of the 3 different gates, and there's a natural road that connects it all up. This is the stable. I put the stable next to the big gatehouse over here. Here is the larger wheel of pain, the one that can actually have multiple thralls working on it at a time. Here's the beginnings of my temple. This is the second tier shrine for Ymir, who is the god that I'm playing a Nordic character, and so I wanted a Nordic god. And the temple itself isn't built. I needed to figure out how big the shrines were before I built it, and then once I see, I can either build off of it or whatever. I'm going to start off the rest of this tour going into, well, you know what, I'm going to wait on that. Let's look at this wall next. So you have no idea how much building and how much time this took to build this, and I built it over stages. Up until not too long ago, it was just some foundation work. So out here, there's this is the only threat animal, other than those hyenas up on the hill. It's him. And he really pesters me, because out here is where I get most of my trees. I have both the deadwood ones, and the better ones for the wood, as well as plenty of scraps. There's rocks up here, there's rocks down the hill, plenty of rocks. So, but whenever I come out here to gather resources, this idiot jumps up and I have to kill him again. So right now I'm ghosting, so can't see anything. So the lower, I don't know, about 2 or 3 rows up is all solid foundation with a wall facing on it. So if I was looking at this from a defensive point of view, if somebody was going to use ballista and stuff like that, trying to break into this wall, it's a pretty solid foundation. And I did the same thing on the other side. So the bottom rows on this thing are really solid. And you can see I got window. I built all that up today. I had the foundations were built up to about that row, but all the stuff above is all stuff that I kind of threw together today, just kind of figuring out what I wanted to do. The rest of this is stuff I built, 3 weeks ago, a month ago. I don't know exactly how long it's been since I've been playing this. So I might as well show the new stuff first, because there's less to show over here. Still work in progress, but I have some different stairways, and this will go up as well to this area, which comes out over here. That's essentially all this side has in this lower tier anyway. I just need to block it in, because this is going to be wall. That's going to be solid wall from that side to here. So again, I'm probably going to fill this lower level as well and just kind of have it flat, but I don't know. Up here, I built this today as well, this little canopy using, what are they? This thatched awning. And that came out really nice. It has a lot more of an open area, and it has a lot more support. I might have to incorporate this into some of my other buildings and the new stuff. Got two stairways here, one that goes up one row and just runs across. And of course I like putting my little bathroom areas in. It allows somebody to look down, you know, and see the other gateway and look what's, you know, out into the courtyard area. And this is outside. So this area is just a little flat top area, and this is going to be connected up over here. So I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I'll probably just, you know, put a fence off it and whatever. But anyway, back to this. Goes back down the steps. Now up the other steps, this is where you're going to get kind of motion sickness or dizzy. This is where it's going to happen. The lower level, bathroom. That's pretty simple. And then this is access to this outside overhang, again for archers, as well as the wall. So all of this is on top of that those little awning things. And this, of course, is stair. Oh no, it doesn't have stairs going down there. The stairs going down are over here, which is the other tower, the right side of the gate. There's a tower. There's steps that go down on that gate tower, and there's steps that go down on this gate tower. One of my many. Well, I only have a handful of thralls here, so she's on guard duty there. But before we go into those towers, I'm going to run through this over here. We already went up there. Okay, now for the big stairs. I built all of this today. I don't like the single floor, so then I started doing double floors. Kind of a wide open area. Try to slow down a little bit, cut down on the nausea. I thought maybe I'd put like a flag or something over here, a banner. It's a little lookout point, that's all that is. I was going to continue to make this building this long, but I was like, nah, screw it, I'll just put a little porch over here. So I have a porch here that overlooks everything. See, it's important for siege warfare that you can be able to attack the people who are attacking the wall. Oh, I gotta put a thing there, but it's fine. Up. Up. Again, made room for a little bathroom. Because you don't want to have to go down 4 or 5 flights of stairs just to use the can, you know. Pretty standard, just rooms. I need a way to elevate. This is another interesting thing. So now we're off of the tower and onto the, basically that big rock space. And I haven't done anything up here yet. This is where I've kind of wrapped up my construction, because I figure I'm going to go right over to that little gap there and that gap there and have maybe a door that goes out. Maybe notice the little the huge stairway and the little tiered rooftops. I thought that came out pretty nice. So over here, it just kind of ends and goes down the valley. And up over here is basically, you know, just trees and rocks and so forth. But we are pretty close to this little land bridge area, except it doesn't go all the way over. It's one bridge over, but not the second. I thought about, you know, if I really wanted to, I could continue this, you know, construction project all the way around. But you notice the fire lights, that's where camps are. There's a lot of Darfari in our area. And same thing on this side. See, I could build this thing all the way over here, but there's a Darfari camp right up here, so I didn't want to mess with it. And I probably won't go up here either for the same kind of reason. Just, I don't need to. So what I'll probably do is just build a simple, I don't know. I don't know exactly what I'm doing. No idea. I just thought it was kind of cool to build it up. Well, here's the thing. I was just going to do this wall down here, but then I was like, well, God, if I was going to attack this place, I'd just send my people up here and fling rocks down on top of the wall. So that's the main reason I decided I better build up to the height that it was. Okay. Another one of my warriors. Turn off the flight. Okay, so that's the wall. Now let's go into the tower. Do I have any... I did not think this is going to be in the middle of the night. There we go. So this is the right-hand tower. And you can see this is single floor stairs, so it's pretty tight in there. This is the gate. We're right on top of the gate now. And then we're into the other tower. Now this tower is a little more... This is... There we are. Here's the gate. This is a way that we can attack whoever comes inside. Goes down. This is not the stairs down. This is where it gets confusing. That's just it's like a basement. Because there is no... The bottom, like, 3 rows are all solid foundation. You gotta have solid foundations for these towers because they're the ones that are gonna get hit. If you want to go down, you have to go into the wall. And the wall has the stairway down. With the windows. And this is the guardhouse. And now we're back into the outside. Kind of need a map though. Again, this is in the inside wall portion. So I created this little area with some beds, like a little barrack area and a little pea pot. Stairway up, same thing. This is just an overlook into the compound. That's all that is. Over here, more beds for troops. Low ceiling. Back outside. And I don't know what I'm doing up with this, but I know that I'm going to have a platform here because all that's going to have roof. We didn't even go over there. We went up from down below. But this is a tier, and then up here is another tier, and then up there is a couple of buildings we'll get to shortly. But now we're back on the wall again. This is the wall. Again with another, you know, I was really thinking out how I would have like barracks and stuff incorporated into the fort. Hatch. You don't have any hatches yet in the other game, but I built a few in this game. Space saver. This is the path that we took before, the stairs that go down. Well, that's the step ladder that goes up. Storage. Now we're going back up. This is on top of the wall. Inside. And outside. Okay, I don't need the torch on anymore. And if we want to get up on top of the tower, this is our tower overlook. This is the highest point of the wall proper down here until I built that ginormous thing. But it's got a good vantage point. Then we have the wall. And I gotta build this around or something. Anytime you see like lots of foundation, it's just a kind of a skeleton of what I'm gonna do. Then I had to do an angle. So this is where things get a little out of kilter because now we got these things crisscrossing those down below, and I'm not sure how that's gonna flow, but so this is a guardhouse. That's all this is. It's a simple little room with an upstairs with some windows. It's just a little guard tower. That's all this is, and I haven't finished it yet. I was debating, I wasn't sure if I was going to go up another floor or if I'm going to put a roof on it, so it's kind of unfinished. But this is just guards in here. Then it comes out and there's this little patio into a whole other building here. This is where I was thinking about putting like the captain and the guard, or I don't know, something. I almost thought about moving over here because there's a lot more room up here and I could keep building up. As you can see, it's a lot higher than the home that I originally built. I just put these stairs in today, but everything else is pre-built. I don't want to go out that way. And this is back on the wall. Let's see. Where do I want to go next? Okay. So that just leaves my base. The home castle that I built. This is kind of cool. So there was a natural platform up here, kind of a flat area, and then it kind of went up. So I kind of incorporated that into my design and created this nice big patio out here. And then you go up inside the actual building. Oh, I got a cat coming out. The one thing I haven't done with this game is furnishings. I have not done a very good job in furnishings and stuff. I haven't built a whole lot. I was focusing more on rooms and what I was going to do, and so tiny little worker room there. I got like this room which I've kind of turned into my kitchen because there's the stove. Out here is a simple little porch that overlooks the area and it curls around to here. So 2 doors that exit out of the same, just to go to the same space. Over here is a bedroom or something. It's got a nice space to it. Again, you notice the low ceilings. I learned a lot when I was building this, which is why I have so many 2-story, 2-floor up ceilings in the other game, because this is a little claustrophobic. You shouldn't be able to touch the ceiling of these rooms. So I kind of learned as I went playing this game. Stairs that go up. Now here's what I intended to be my throne room or treasure room, and I have all my guard cats up here. Kitties, so many kitties. And my treasure. I have a lot more money in this account than I do in the one in the other game. It's a lot of gold and silver. And some of my storage. In here I have 2 bedrooms. This one has a little porch, very tiny, but and one that goes on the other side. I don't know. They could be guest bedrooms, they could be storage rooms, they could be the kids' bedrooms, I don't know. Got a couple of stairs that go up here. Actually 3 different areas. This is one area that's again kind of like a bedroom. It's not too bad. This is the master bedroom, or I had intended it to be. So I had changed my looks there. Bed, kind of the old crappy cheap bed, and then of course I have a. How do I get on this thing? I guess I just climb it. I don't know why it's not opening. It ticks me off. There we go. I guess I have to open it before I climb. All this is kind of like a... I don't know. Originally I was going to put like kind of like a landing pad. Not a landing pad, but like for a dragon. Like an aerial like landing space. Now it's just kind of an attic for storing precious goods that you don't want out in the open, I guess. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't gotten that far into it. My decor is far, far behind where the other game has become. This is just simply an attic. That's all it is. Just, It's a typical attic storage space. That's all that's up there. So we are at the top of the main building. This is the least interesting part of this building. I realize I don't spend a lot of time in here. If I had it to do over again, I'd have double high ceilings, and this building would be significantly taller. Now, where this game is this area is kind of interesting is what I did out here. So, in the back side, it's got some nice little platform spaces that I built because they make nice overhangs. We'll get over there. Well, I might as well do this next. So this is where I first learned about the elevators. So there was a little spire on the other side of the river, because that's where we're at. And so I found a way to build this across and built up an area for it to connect to. Notice it's on a hexagram, you know, the six-sided thing. Not platforms, foundations. Beautiful river. And you can see the fence work from the other side. And it goes down. As you get lower and lower, you need more walls and defensive measures. I'm going to build a wall, or some kind of a wall here, that goes out to the road. There'll be like a little... There's a road that goes up along that ridge there. And this would be the way that if you were a traveler and you wanted to cross the river and enter in the castle, this is the path you take. But I ran out of foundation stones and stuff, so that's where that'll be. And otherwise, down here is like a little guardhouse. Stairs that come out. Let's see, this is a little pathway that goes along this shoreline over here. It goes up into the mountain. But if you, if you had like a horse or your wagon or whatever, or your supplies, this is what I envisioned. Just basically shooting straight across up to the tower. I was in the process of doing all this stuff before I got into that other game that we were playing, so it's been a detriment to my work on this stand. After I built this, and after I built this whole tower and all the wall and everything else, I decided I kind of wanted an elevator that goes across to the rest of the area over there, because obviously this would be for people who are going to the castle. So if you're visiting a noble, this is where you go. But if you were somebody that was a trader and you were looking to, get to the more public area, public access, if you will, then you take this one over. So I thought that was kind of cool. It was a nice kind of angled. It was a perfect angle for that. Okay, back to my tour of the workstation area. So all of that goes down there, but on this side is where I put my workstations. So I got my tanning thing here, got my forge. Of course, I have my drying rack there next to the forge where it can absorb the heat. Just little nooks here. I got the blacksmith thing there. I got the woodworking thing there. Stairs that come up. This little peekaboo lookout area that looks inside the wall courtyard area. These windows look into the space where the gate is. Another one of my archers. Here's the road that leads into the gatehouse. We're over the gatehouse right here. This is the gate. And this, in an awkward way, goes into the other gatehouse. And again, there's another hatch that goes into the gatehouse itself. So if you wanted to attack this, the defenders here, it's a little bit of a chore. So that connects up here. Down here is the way that you go to get out of this and into back to the courtyard. So I got my grinder down here with the little slab because I can't do anything up in that area. Notice I put the little pillars there to support the porch. In here, just a lookout, that's all it is. Another area where you can put an archer to shoot at the people who are approaching the gate, and then the door that comes out, and there's the gate. And there's the entrance to the other gate with the hatch above it. Along here, you got a dancer and a bear, a little, platform area there, and I got another little platform area here. I just haven't built anything there yet. Could be outside, might build it in as a structure, I don't know. Okay, back through. Okay, next spot is what I call the barn. Stairs that go down. You got more workstations here. That's the dismantling bench. I got a little hatch area here, kind of, like a loft. Push comes to shove, I can always get rid of some of that stuff. This little area is, again, just for, lookouts, guards. Defensive, areas where you can attack people who are trying to siege the place. Out here is a simple little overlook, again, of the river. My garden, which isn't nearly as big as the other one. Once I realized how to work these gardens, I was like, oh, I'm going to need more space. But this actually has multiple ways through. There's my, this, another bathroom, or lookout area. This is the steps that come back up into the barn. So you don't have to use that deck area. You can just come down here and boom. This over here is another building. This is kind of my alchemy, sorcery stuff. So I got the fireball cauldron and the juicer there. And up here I got the alchemy bench. And I got stairs. Again, an overhang, but really it's the steps that go up. And this is where I intend my sorcerers, kind of the sorcerer chambers. It's going to have some stuff, but it's not real big, so I can't get a lot of workstations here, so it's going to have to be on multiple floors. So this is supposed to be like a tower, but I don't know. And I think that's about it. I think that's everything that I built. So there's a lot less here than there is in the other one, but really I like what I did here. I think it's pretty sophisticated, considering I was kind of learning as I went. I do like these grandiose projects, but I may or may not ever get around to finishing them. I think this came out pretty nice. It'll look even sharper when I replace the old sandstone with something a little more refined. But, put steps. Lots and lots of steps. And believe me, I was not cheating for 90% of this building either. If I ran out of stone and wood, then I'd have to go out into the hillside area and farm more stone and wood. And there's a lot of it out there. There's a lot of coming out here. Got all these trees along the shore. All these rocks respawn. So I have to chop all the trees, mine all the rocks. Up here, this goes back around to the other entrance, but it's also, this hillside is just littered with rocks. All of these rocks can be mined. And back down. And there's iron down there too. So it's a pretty good source for the basic resources. It doesn't have coal. But there's a lot of coal in one of those mountainsides over there. I don't remember which one off the top of my head, but it's in our area. It's just not here. But again, this is the lower area. Again, a lot more rocks. A bunch of trees here. Down there is the little campsite that always spawns the people just so they can get killed by gators. Shellbacks here. Fly so I can go faster. So one of the other things I was working on, like right before I ended that stream, or this kind of playthrough, before I started the other playthrough, was I was experimenting with, you know, triangular buildings, using the triangle foundations. And so I created this tower using, again, I started off with the little triangles in the middle, and I was, okay, if I extend it out a row, what's that like? So I have a tower that's essentially me experimenting with different kinds of floor structures, multiples, you know, if I want to go up 2 floors instead of 1, how do I wind the staircase around, where do I leave space to build, or where I want to put stuff, furniture, and where do I just want to keep moving up and up and up. And then I started, you know, putting in these little overlooks, which I thought were kind of cool. Again, wide open space like a bedroom or something. A little larger overhang. Got up to the top and I keep on going. I was like, I don't know how high I can go, but I thought about just keep building and building and building. So that was one thing I was doing with this. I don't want ghost on it. Dang it. In order to fly, you either need to hit fly, which lets you fly but not fly through objects, or hit ghost. Ghost also gives you flight, but it also makes you pass through all the objects. In order to turn flight off, though, you have to turn ghost on and off. You've seen me do it before. So that's all this location is. Let me see how long. It shouldn't take too long for me to get to the other little. I also mentioned another little building area that I was working on in this little arched overhang. So I might as well show you that too. This game I like building stuff. It takes me back to playing The Sims. So this is that area up with the, you know, rocky overhang. So I'd already had all that other stuff built. This is fairly recent. I was experimenting with, you know, how I would defend, or how would I build this little area. Big patio with the rocks out here. See, now I put those little awning things. Again, it's not finished. It's like most of my building projects. It's like I go until I run out of building materials, and then I never come back. Closets, storage, stairs that go down. This is the living space. Again, low ceiling, more room here. Kind of claustrophobic, but I thought it was kind of cool having the ground floor. I mean, this is outside. You can see this wall, but I didn't put a door in the ground floor. I put the door on the second floor, and then kind of came down. I had mentioned this. This is the little sneaky back escape hatch, kind of, that goes down to the waterline area. It's kind of tucked here in this little, you know, on the cliff here. The other area is actually up above. Let's see if I can find that. Patio. It's not there. It's not here. Oh. There must be a different pathway. No, there isn't. the stairs. So there's a whole other room over here. Another little bathroom area or closet. Underneath the stairs is this door, which descends into the true basement. That little patio we looked down on before is right up here. So this is just in the rocks. This is as a true basement. You can't build a basement in this game. And if you build up a house up around it and your basement's on the ground floor, well, you just can't do it. So finding this is the kind of main attraction of this building location, is you get this little basement. Because all it is the ground. There's just a little rift down here. See? The ground just kind of goes down underneath this giant rocky overhang. So all I did was put some foundations up over here to block it, and put platforms here as a rooftop. Now see, I could build all that in and make it, part of my structure, but as it is, it's kind of a nice little patio. So either way, I can do either one with it. So anyway, I think that's the only other thing I had built in this playthrough. So I guess that's it. I just wanted to kind of show this stuff off, because I don't know whether I'll get back to building this or not, or if I will destroy it and go on to another playthrough. Got some roofing to do here too. Got a lot of work to do on this little place. But since it's not my main house, I didn't really bother. I thought about having like a little, kind of like a home base in different regions. So when I'm in that region, I can just like trigger a bed that's there, and then while I'm in that region, that'll be my home base. And then, oh, God, I forgot there's one more. There's one more base. I don't think I tore it down. Let me see. Got to reacquaint myself here. Nope, not here. Here we go. Nope, this is spiders. This is it. Where am I at? Oh, it must have been a different playthrough. Yeah, because this was the first house I built was in this little gap here. The first ever home base that I built was in this tiny little gap, but it was in a different playthrough. It must have been the one that I ended up building into the jungle. I thought it was in this one. Oh well. But anyway, yeah, I was thinking about that. I was thinking about kind of an interesting way to do it. Instead of building one huge base, build a bunch of smaller bases in each region. Does it look familiar? Man, it's been a while since I've seen this place all stripped out. Big boulder. This is all the boulders. Go through the little tunnel here. Boom, here's where my furnaces are. The little platform. The overlook. The kitchen area. Up the side of this thing. Up and around. Oh my God. See everything where it was in its natural state before I started building. It's fascinating. So many stones in this thing before I started building, and now they don't respawn. Huh. I have never seen this before. rocks were obscuring the chest. God, I thought this is a really. I love this location. I thought it's one of my favorite parts of I don't know, the way my brain works. I like to evaluate space and is this a good place to build a base or not. The fact that there's no real enemies here, you have to kind of go all the way up here into this camp, or all the way out here to this camp, or descend into the valley with the water on both sides since there's lizards over here and gators over here. So there's threats, but they're not like right on top of us. Still don't know where this is. Triggers that sound effect, and I can't figure out where the thing is. But anyway, that's all I got. I just wanted to run through that. It's not too long of a video. I'll get back to the other game after this, but I don't even sure when I'm going to post this. I might not post this for several more weeks, but I wanted to document that base while I kind of had it fresh in my mind. So, thanks for watching.